way it was meant to be, old style. Now your hosts for Ron's Championship Wrestling, Ron Wright and Terry Landell.
I'm Thatcher, your host. We've got a great lineup for you today. In action today, Cody Hawk takes on Matt Stryker. Should be quite a match. Two fine young up-and-coming stars. In tag team action, BJ Whitmer teams with Wildman Jeff Anderson. That should be quite a combination against Rick Cannon and DJ 2000. And don't forget, tonight here at the Armory, 8 o'clock the bell time, a big Ron's Championship Wrestling show on tap, and joining me now are Terry Landell.
We got a lot to talk about. Yeah, just like you seen last week.
Mr. Thatcher. We got a lot to talk about.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's start by talking about what happened last week. You know, this guy is your manager, as he tells me. He doesn't come to the ring like a conventional manager, but then, of course, you've run in on White Boy.
Wait a minute. Have you got something to back that up?
Well, yeah,
videotape has been doctored, I can tell you that. I come out here and I work fair. That's right. When it comes into the green,
it's all about that money, baby.
It don't have to be conventional. As long as the green's there, he's my manager, and he'll take care of whatever
last week, White Boy turned the table and he ran in, but no more than he got in there and you and him went at it. Here comes Terry Landell with like an old woman with a shoe wanting to beat somebody over the head with that.
That got him down, though, didn't it, Les?
Well, it got him down, but what I'm saying here is, why don't you just put a pair of tights on this man and take him to the ring with you?
Well, you know, that might happen later on down the road, but I'm trying to get all these contracts up right here.
Oh, I know. You're signing every top talent, and talk is cheap, Terry Landell.
That's right. No cheap. Hey.
Before we go any farther, let's take a look at what happened last week. When we come back, I want to get Mr. Anderson's comments. Let's take a look at that piece of tape right now. Spins him into a neck breaker off. Wait a minute. White Boy is in the arena. Dirty White Boy in, and he drops one out. Man, this is a rerun of what we just saw last week and the week before.
Other way around, though. That White Boy's getting even now.
Yes, wait a minute. Terry Landell is hitting the ring. Oh, my God. What's he doing? Taking his... You know, that's the best he can do. Landell's going to work on White Boy. White Boy working on Anderson. JR Stardog's out. We have run out of time. We're going to have to get out of here. Les Thatcher, for Ron Wright, everyone here, hoping that Terry Landell will disappear, but if he doesn't, join us again next week for more Ron's Championship Wrestling. All right, there it was. Now, you talk to me.
Okay, I had the man beat fair and square for the 1, 2, 3, and what happened? The dirty, stinking White Boy hits the room, the ring, everywhere, whatever he wants to do, and Pearl Harbored me from behind. So what else I have to have? I have to back up on Terry to come out and help me out.
Did you buy him that hat?
Which hat? My hat or his hat?
That hat.
Well, that's part of the contractual agreement there.
You should give it back
what about the tank top I got here?
You should give it back to your wife. Actually, is what I was considering. But anyway, what about just you and White Boy in a match? Just the two wrestlers, no managers, no outside interference. Put the title on the line, and let's, just see who the right man is. There's a big...
You know, I like Les coming here trying to tell us what to do. Ron Wright has sucked him up, brought him in here. Now he's trying to get in here and call the match. He's trying to get me out the door.
Son, telling you what to do. I was doing it while you were gleaming your mother's eye.
Well, all I know is you put the White Boy on the contract, and the Wild Man will go on the contract. Terry can stay in the back, and we'll go one-on-one, and we'll see the best man win, because I'm the man of the future, and the White Boy's the man of the past, and Father Time ain't coming back.
Well, you have a tag match with B.J. Whitmer.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
All right, and of course, tonight, here at the Armory, is a big show as well.
Well, that's all I got to say. So I guess you people better show up tonight.
What kind of man I am.
Well, I'll almost show up if you will stay in the back. I'd buy a ticket to see that, but not to see you. We're going to have to take a commercial break. We'll be back.
Here's a ticket, last. Come on.
Right after this.
For the latest on Ron's Championship Wrestling, call the Wrestling Hotline, 865-973-8092. That's the Wrestling Hotline at 865-973-8092.
Hello, this is Terry Landell with Tennessee Bonding Company. You know, everybody goes to jail out there. We want everybody to give us a call, 865-522-1776, and call Tennessee Body Company if you get put in jail.
Hello there, wrestling fans. I'd like to invite anybody out there on TV watching these wrestling programs, if you've got any desire and ambition to be a wrestler, you need to get in touch with us down at Ron's Gym. I've got a weight room down there to where we can build your body up, get you in condition, and get you in the ring, train you the right way, the way you should be trained, and get you off the ground and get you started in professional wrestling. Give me a call at Ron's Wrestling School. We appreciate it.
All right, Matt Stryker out against Cody Hawk. These are two of the guys out of my camp, Ron. And, you know, they both have great credentials. Stryker, we're seeing him for the first time. Saw him on Personality Profile, or we'll be seeing him on Personality Profile coming up. But this kid has done real well in a short period of time.
Look good. Two good-looking kids. Anxious to see how they can do up there.
Both of them can fly. Both of them can wrestle on the mat. Nice waist lock. Go behind by Stryker. Cody Hawk into the arm bar. Head scissor. Kick out. All right. Good move. Good move.
Looking good so far. Looking good. Both of them very, very fast. Found them two out of a top amateur school up there in Ohio, Les.
Yeah, both these boys have got amateur backgrounds. Switch, good double switch. Cody with a hammerlock. Hawk with a little height advantage, not too much difference in the weight here. Both these guys can fly. They can go to the air, but as you see, they can work on the mat as well.
Now, you can tell they've got that amateur instinct with them. Like to see it in good wrestling.
Stryker trying to break him down, frees himself, switches in. Behind Cody Hawk. Hawk looking for it. Stryker with a nice roll through. Oklahoma roll, gets a 2 count. Gets a 2 count. Of course, again, we want to remind you, check the Ron's Championship Wrestling website and hotline for the next TV tapings here at the Armory. But there are matches here tonight. The 25th, tonight, starting at 8 o'clock. A great array of stars, a great lineup. Cody Hawk wanted to shake hands, and Stryker shouldn't have done it. Hawk goes to the arm.
Knocked him right in the mouth.
Riding the surfboard, switches in behind. Quarter Nelson's.
Looks like you got two top future stars right there, Thatcher.
Good switch through. Cody rolls through. Stryker hangs onto the arm bar. If you notice as you're watching at home, the minute one gets a hold, the other one is looking for a way out.
The man is quite naked.
Pretty.
We'll have Landel out here trying to get both of them.
Yeah, he'll stop this match and sign us on both
would
on one.
surprise me a bit.
Right now, Hawk driving Stryker back into the buckle. He'll get the break here. Double A, the referee, going to call for the break. Hawk with a kick to the midsection. Arm puts it in. Stryker up and over. Deep on the arm drag. Hooks his man. Pretty.
I'll tell you what, that's two fine wrestlers right there, Les.
Short arm scissor.
When I do that, they used to call that the director's hole.
The director's hole. Hawk is going to try and pick him up. Is he going to get him up? Is he going to get him up? Slams him over. He's able to break free. Both coming up a little slow. Hawk favoring that arm. Stryker was dropped on his head. Hawk with a knee in the midsection. Brings that knee again. And again. Down goes Stryker. Cody Hawk, a good technical wrestler, but he opens it up. He can brawl with the best of them.
Well, he barely made it up.
Of course, we want to remind you, we got B.J. Whitmer and Jeff Anderson coming up. They'll be taking on Rick Cannon and DG2000. Double chopping back and forth. Finally, Hawk goes to the eyes, choking Stryker down across that rope.
I'll tell you, Les, looking forward to having these two boys back here on Ron Championship Wrestling.
Well,
two
good.
fine top wrestlers right there.
And, you know, and I think it's these young guys that are the white boys and the Anthony's and the Marcuses, the trouble. They're the future of the business, Ron.
Future, you're right. That's what we're trying to do here. We've started a wrestling school, trying to get people trained, bring them up the old way, and make top stars out of it.
Yes, sir. Teach them the old style basics and the new style entertainment. Almost a pin. Off the clothesline. Man, I thought Stryker had him with a roll-up.
Too. I thought that match had come to screeching halt right there, but he made it out.
Yep, Hawk clotheslined him out of his boots, got a 2 count there, shoots that little flipper forearm in. Arm whips him cross ring. Stryker up on the top. What's he going to get? Oh, slides down the back. German suplex.
Man, that boy's got a lot of moves in his bag of tricks.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Both men showing it's been a tough. Gets him with that power slam. And a 2 count. So close, but so far away.
He just barely missed having it in.
Boot. Goes for the what? Is he going to press slam him? Yes, he is. Trying for the pin. Again, Hawk kicks out. Man, both these guys are into it hard, Ron. Small package by Cody Hawk. He gets a 2 count. Boot by Stryker.
I tell you, those boys are both quick and light.
Suplex. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't bet on who's going to win this one. It's been back and forth from the get-go, Ron.
Boy, that's the truth. I'm telling you, those two have really impressed me.
And there it is, the roll-up. Matt Stryker comes up the winner. And what a wrestling match we just had. Matt Stryker comes up the winner over Cody Hawk.
That's one of the best matches I've seen on TV matches in quite a while, Les.
I'd have to agree with you, Ron. I'd have to agree with you. And, of course, Matt Stryker is the subject of our personality profile. He came up with a win. Let's listen to Ron interview Matt Stryker on Personality Profile.
Welcome to Personality Profile this week here on Ron's Championship Wrestling. My special guest this week, Stryker. Stryker, it's a pleasure to have you here with Ron's Championship Wrestling, and we're looking forward to see you in a lot of exciting matches here in the Knoxville and the surrounding area. Give the fans a little bit of a rundown on how you got started in professional wrestling.
Well, about 5 years ago, I met a man named Les Thatcher. Started training in his school and got a ton of opportunities through Les since then, and here I am today.
Well, Les Thatcher is certainly a legendary figure here in Knoxville, both in the ring and behind the desk as a commentator. Do you remember who your first opponent was with when you started out with Les?
Sure do. It was a guy named Bad Boy Bobby Kane, and the unique thing about him was he was deaf. So there was nothing I could say that he could hear, so I just had to go out there and listen and try to go along with what he was doing.
What about your toughest match to date? You've been doing it for about 5 years now. Is there one match that sticks out in your mind as being the toughest so far?
That'd be a hard thing to pick my toughest match. With the last year with the WWF being part of the HWA, I've had an incredible opportunity to wrestle guys like Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, Jamie Noble, Val Venus. I mean, the list is just immense, the guys I've got to wrestle. So to pick my hardest match or my toughest match would be impossible.
Have you been in the ring with Kane or The Undertaker?
I've not actually been in the ring with either one of them, no.
I know they've been two top figures up there, but being up there in an organization like that, I'm sure you've got some great stories and some great memories, even, just the short time that you've been in it. Tell us a little bit about the Super 8 tournament. I know that you've competed in that, and I've had some people ask me about that. Could you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Sure. The Super 8 tournament is a tournament held once a year by the ECWA up on the East Coast. A man named Jim Kentner. He brings in the 8 best cruiserweights that he can find throughout that year, puts them all in a tournament. It runs for the entire night. They crown a Super 8 champion, bring him in throughout the year, and it gets quite a bit of press and notoriety through the magazines. It was a great opportunity to go up there and take part in that.
Was this your first year to actually get to compete in that?
Yeah, usually when he brings somebody in for that tournament, it's a one-time deal. As far as the tournament, he usually brings you in afterwards, in a tag situation or whatever, to come back and defend your title. But usually it's just a one-time thing for the actual tournament.
What about the Ring of Honor? I've heard some things about the Ring of Honor, and I know you know a little bit about that also.
The Ring of Honor is kind of a unique situation. They have affiliations with NWA TNA, and they also have affiliations with 01 in Japan. And to get the opportunity to go with them kind of opens the door up to a lot of other avenues and possibilities of making a career and a living in this business, and that's what everybody's goal is, I think.
Right. Where do you see yourself now in the future professional wrestling? What's your immediate and long-term goal?
Well, my immediate goal is to stay healthy and keep doing this as long as I can. My long-term goal is to make a big name for myself, make a good living, and retire as a wrestler. I mean, that's my dream.
You've held several championships at this point also, haven't you?
Sure have. In the HWA alone, I've held all 3 titles that we have there. The tag titles, which I'm currently a tag team champion right now, the heavyweight championship, and also the cruiserweight championship.
So you've held them all for that organization and basically done a little bit of everything up there, right?
Yeah.
Do you prefer the old style that we're trying to get back to as opposed to the WWE or some organizations like that?
To be honest with you, I'm kind of like a chameleon. I'll adapt to whatever situation that I'm in. I prefer the old style, yes, but I do like to watch and do some of the high-flying moves as well.
Well, it's an honor to have you here in Knoxville. We're looking forward to seeing you compete here in the ring. We wish you the best of luck and hope that the future only holds best for you.
Thank you very much.
Fans, we appreciate Stryker being with us this week on Personality Profile. Now back to Les Thatcher for more action.
All right, we're back from Personality Profile, and of course you saw what a fine young man Matt Stryker was on that profile.
I'll tell you, Les, he's impressed me more than anybody I've seen in here in a long time. That there's going to be one fine, upstanding future wrestling star.
I agree with you, Ron, and he and Cody Hawk had one heck of a match, I think, out there.
Sure did. One of the top matches we've had here on the wrestling program.
I think so, too. Of course, we want to remind the fans to check the website and the hotline for future tapings here at the Armory. We want to mention Ron's Wrestling School, which is down in Old Knoxville. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we've got a good school, got some good trainers. We got a complete gym down there because I want to train boys, bring them up, get them in shape, work them out hard, so when they get out here and get the opportunity on TV, they're able to get out there and if they need to wrestle 35, 40 minutes nonstop. And
like we used to have to.
Like we used to have to do it week in and week out, Les. And we're trying to teach them the old fundamentals of wrestling to make top wrestlers out of them. And, that's what you've done up in Cincinnati with your school, and that's what we're planning on doing right here with our school in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's good. I'm looking forward to that. The one thing we do want to remind you that tonight at 8 o'clock, right here at the Armory, bell time 8 o'clock, a big Ron's Championship Wrestling event, and I'm sure before the evening's over that Jeff Anderson and the White Boy at some point in time are going to tangle.
I'm sure they will. They've had this feud going. It reminds me of the old feud years ago, me and Whitey Caldwell, and Ron and Don Wright with Whitey Caldwell and Les Thatcher. So they have some knockdown, drag out, Les.
I hope they don't have all the bruises to worry about that we're worried about as old men now, Ron.
Boy, that's the truth. I wake up aching many a night remembering some of the falls and licks that I took that caused it.
I hear you, brother. We're going to have to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we've got more tag team action for you.
Hello, this is Terry Landell with Tennessee Bonding Company. You know, everybody goes to jail out there. We want everybody to give us a call, 865-522-1776, and call Tennessee Bonding Company if you get put in jail.
For the latest on Ron's Championship Wrestling, call the Wrestling Hotline, 865-973-8092. That's the Wrestling Hotline at 865-973-8092.
Jeff Anderson and B.J. Whitmer out against Rick Cannon and DG 2000. And the parasite himself right at ringside.
I don't know what he's doing hanging around out there with him.
Maybe that's my fault, because I asked Anderson earlier why I just didn't take him out the ringside like a conventional manager. Maybe I should have kept him.
Maybe he's the leader. Maybe he knows better than to stay down.
He's headed our way, so we're in trouble.
Yeah, we're probably in trouble.
Let me tell you boys something today. I got a lot to talk about. I got the best tag team around the world. We can go anywhere and beat them boys. I mean, I'm telling you what, Les, this boy that you brought in here and Wild Man Jeff Anderson ain't a team out there can beat them.
You know what? you once in a while tell the truth, and I don't know if anybody can beat them, but yes, they are a good tag team. I'll go along. And I thought you were going to stay out there by ringside, but I guess...
Well, I thought I need to come back here and guide you boys a little bit, because, I mean, there's a lot of people sitting down in their house. They want to hear the K-Town Daddy, the real Terry Landell right here today.
Well, you know, I can understand that because between Ron and I, there's probably only about 75 years of experience in this business, and you've been around since lunch, so I'm sure we need to hear from you.
We need him down, Pat.
Well, I mean, business is business. I mean, look at that DG 2000 there.
Yeah, we're looking at Whitmer on the reversal on the whip. Takes it to that scissor. DG 2000 tags Rick Cannon. We'll see what Cannon can do. Cannon, the big boy, goes... lost his balance on the clothesline. Well, what he should be doing here, I think, is a tag team wrestler. I think 2000 had an arm bar, and maybe Cannon is smart to go to that arm. Well, maybe we should ask Terry Landell. He's the expert here.
I'm the greatest, don't you forget that there, Les. I'm going to tell you what, tonight in Knoxville, Tennessee, the roof's really going to go off. You know, you got the dirty white boy always doing something, just like last week's TV. He come to interfere in the match, and I had to go out there and take care of the dirty white boy. And then Les talking about me putting the tights on, doing this, doing that. I'll do what I want to in Knoxville.
Listen, I want to retract that statement because I've got a picture in my mind of you wrestling tights on, and it's not a pretty picture. So please don't take your clothes off in my presence. But right now, Anderson in charge. Cannon too hesitant on his offense. Whitmer was able to cut him off, made the tag to Jeff Anderson. Anderson in the driver's seat, and right now Cannon needs to make the tag to his partner. Ron, I know that you and Don is tag team alike. I mean, you work, and I know it was with Whitey. A lot of times it's just a look or body language which would decide that you were ready to make a tag.
Yeah, knew what each other was doing before we done it. It was something that, after working together so long, it becomes natural. You just knew what was going on and what was fixing to happen.
Right now, Cannon back, but he's so hesitant here. Kane's going to try for the Oklahoma roll. Didn't have the shoulders secured. Anderson's kicking out. And Anderson taking advantage of the hesitancy of Rick Cannon. And Terry Landell's being awful quiet. Why?
I'm sitting here, I'm concentrating on what I like what Wild Man's doing to Rick Cannon. I mean, it's just business, Les Thatcher. I want you to understand that. And anytime my boys is in the ring, and look at this new talent right here. All you wrestling fans need to get out here tonight and watch this thing at 8 o'clock right here at the National Guard Armory in Knoxville.
Well, you know what I said to Ron before you came over here, and I'm sure I almost bet a $50 bill that before the night's over, I don't care who's in what match, that Anderson and White are going to end up tagging.
I bet 100 on that, one way or another.
Well, I tell you, now see, there's Anderson. He's looking for something. I tell you, he just wants to whoop up on somebody.
You didn't have anything to do hiding that under the ring, I don't guess, did you, Landel?
Well, Ron, you know, I've never told a lie in Knoxville or outside of Knoxville in my life.
All right, well, it looks like Cannon's outside. Whitmer throws him out. Whitmer's sticking, referee is with 2,000, and Jeff Anderson is driving a steel rod into the windpipe of Rick Cannon.
I'd say that took the wind out of him.
I think so, too. McMurray's got his hands full. And a 2 count. Cannon able to kick out. Whitmer right back on top of him. Brings him into the corner. I got to go along with Landell. These two guys are working smooth as a team. And God, I hate to agree with
Well,
Terry
I know, Les, you hate to do it, but, you know, there's a lot of people out there that kind of likes me outside of Knoxville, inside of Knoxville, you know. Anything that Terry Landell tells you he's going to do, he's going to do it.
Well, right now, B.J. Whitmer choking down Rick Cannon as Anderson holds McMurray's attention.
Well, looks like no longer we've been tag team and we're doing a good job for each other.
makes the tag. 2000 comes in. Jeff Anderson needs to make the tag now. He was stunned with that bumping hands.
Yeah, no.
2000 opened up on him here, Ron.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you don't get him out there and get a pin from him.
Dive into the midsection, taking the wind out of Anderson's sails. He gets a 1 count, shoulder up. Anderson's still in this one. They
Good
need.
thing I wasn't a pin. I'd have got a 3 count down there. Might have been a little
Look at
there.
there.
I believe I'd have got it in.
Anderson got a handful of slinglet and pitches 2000 out. The tag goes to Whitmer. Whitmer, the legal man, so he's out after 2000 rolls him in. Is he going to get a pin here? He gets a 2 count. But 2000 is out. There's the tag.
I guess he's giving one of them Tennessee dog whoopings like he used to, Ron.
He landed on him pretty
He might
good
have
right
cracked the
now.
rib on that kid. Picks him up. What's he going for? Spinning neck breaker. Will he get him on it? Let's see.
Say that'll be it.
Whitmer cuts off Cannon, and that's it.
That's it. Count on it.
Jeff Anderson and B.J. Whitmer take the toll of Rick Cannon and DJ 2000 as they win our main event on today's program. Big show tonight. Terry Landell, I know you're going to be there. And like I said, Ron's going to put a $100 bill up before the night's over. It's going to be
So there you go again. You every week after week, the last month there, Les Thatcher, you sitting here downing Terry Landell. But let me tell you something. I don't care what you people talking about out there. You come down there tonight, Dirty White Boys there. I don't care who's going to be there. Somebody's going to get a beating because Wild Man Jeff Anderson, let me tell you something. We're going to get that title. I can promise you people right here something tonight.
You may be lying to these people like you lie all the time because you may not have enough guts in the Jeff Anderson with yourself backing him to take that title from the Dirty White Boy, I'm telling you.
You know what? I know you and I are both a lot older than he is, but you think between the two of us we might turn him over our knee and spank him?
Might be able to. That's probably what it'd take to get him straightened out.
I think it'd be worth it.
Les, I've always wanted to tell you, I don't like you. I have to come out here week after week to talk right in front of you, but let me tell you something. You all can get ready in Knoxville tonight. Dirty White Boy's going down, and you might do, old man.
Oh, we may do it, man.
The best thing he's ever said that he didn't like me. I'm glad he doesn't.
Like me, and I'm glad of that, too.
This is Les Thatcher for Ron Wright and everyone here. We hope you've enjoyed the program. Join us tonight here at the Armory for the live show, and check the website and the hotline for the next taping. Until that time, so long for everyone here.
God bless you.
For the latest on Ron's Championship Wrestling, call the Wrestling Hotline, 865-973-8092. That's the Wrestling Hotline at 865-973-8092.